Hey guys, welcome to the Emergence Podcast, a podcast that aims to empower fitness professionals through candid conversations about building sustainable minds, bodies, and businesses. I'm your host, Laura Gunder, ex-professional ballet dancer turned classical Pilates instructor based in New York City, sharing my insights from a decades-long journey navigating an industry with no set path to success. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey guys, welcome back to Emergence. Today we have Emilio Lara here with us today. I'm going to have him pronounce his full name because I want people to be the names they are.
Yeah, my full name is Emilio Lara Acevedo.
Thank you so much for joining us today. He's live from Mexico City, and we actually met in New York City. I used to take his class at Session, and he's such an amazing coach, trainer, and also a creative, right? You like have your own production company. You've been in a couple of films, and I feel like you do a lot of kind of creative work. So, kind of today, I wanted to focus our conversation a little bit on not only kind of movement and discipline within fitness, but how that kind of translate into your way of life, into creativity, because I feel like they're very interconnected, and fitness and being creative and that kind of discipline we have to have in order to sort of push past our boundaries and really create and make something, not only of our bodies, but kind of our any creative pursuits. So that's kind of what I want to dive in, but I want to kind of start a little bit about your background and how you got into fitness and movement.
Yeah, well, thanks. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. I remember when was it, like a month ago that we tried to do like in presence podcast, and things got in the way,
Life happens.
life happens. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here one more time. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I mean, a little bit about myself. It's, of course, as you can hear, I have an accent, so it means that English is my second language. So if I pronounce something a little bit bad or something, just I haven't practiced English in a while. But yeah, I mean, I let's start with how I got into movement. I've always been an active kid. I Since I was little, I always find joy in sports, any kind of sports. I play football, well, football like soccer, and yeah, since day one, I love football. It was literally everything that I wanted to become. I wanted to become a professional soccer player, and yeah, since literally probably when I was 3 years old, my mom says that I picked the ball and I started to just kick it, and yeah, so I've always had a lot of energy, and yeah, like just I found fascinated how movement, how sports work, and how just the body in general works. And yeah, probably since 3 years old until I want to say 10 years old, like I used to just practice soccer, and I used to just love it. Just love move the body, work in a team, and just realize how I can improve. And yeah, from a very early age, I want to say like 14, my older brother, he went abroad. He went to Spokane, Washington to study. And after that, like before he went to Spokane, he was, like insecure guy, just a little bit chubby, like. And after he like arrived back from the US, he was a completely different person. Like he got he started to do more fitness. He started to have like a better physique, and I saw how his like self-esteem and just how his body changed. And I was just like, I kind of want to have that same confidence that he has, the same body that he has. And from there, I started to get just curious. I started to get curious about not only sports, but also like fitness. And yeah, that was kind of like the breakdown in my fitness movement, more curious era. That yeah, 14 years old, I remember so much. There's this book in Mexico that is really famous that is called ¿Qué huele con mi cuerpo? It's about like how you start to change when in that teenage phase between 10 years old and I want to say like 16, how your body starts to change, how we as men in this case we start to change. And I remember there was a workout. There was like a it was I remember it was called like killer chest workout. And I grabbed the book and I saw it and I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And I literally just did it by my next to my bed. And I remember the feeling after finishing the workout that I was just like, "Ah, I love this, like I felt strong, I felt confident. It was hard, but yeah, from that day on, I was just like, okay, what if I start to do this more often? And yeah, slowly by slowly, I literally start to work out in my home, next to my bed, just body weight, and start to see the results. Yes, physically, but I was insecure. I was a little bit chubby, I guess. And yeah, kind of like I just start to see the results physically and also like in my confidence. Everything started to like just improved. So yeah, I can say like since I was 14 years old, I started to work out pretty much every day until this day. And I just love the feeling of accomplishment that I got to feel after every workout. And then yeah, pretty much I started to just explore different disciplines, not only go to the gym, I started to just climb, still improve in soccer. And I can say that I was not the best at playing soccer, but because of training, I got to be in the first team. I got to always be like just like always in the team. And yeah, I just realized that maybe you can be an okay person. You can be not as talented as a lot of people, but if you put in the work, if you put in the literally if you just work out and you just put in the hours, you can just accomplish a lot of things. So yeah, I can say that I was a really young guy when just found out how workout, how fitness just improved my life in general. And yeah, that's pretty much how I found my passion into fitness. And first of all, with me, I saw the change that made in myself. And then also from a very early age, I started coaching. My first job as a coach was when I was 16. So yeah, from there it was just until now.
I that's so I love hearing your journey because I feel like if you've ever taken Emilio's class, at least when I first met you, you did not seem unconfident whatsoever. I feel like you seem super confident and super energetic. You have this like kind of fire to you, which is like I feel like a lot of people love that sort of like energy. And I feel like I can feel that when I go to your class. It's like you really have the ability to push people, but in a like a way that you uplift them. I feel like some coaches can sort of make people feel bad. But I feel like you have a nice, this like kind of magical way of making people feel inspired to push themselves in a way that comes from like, I want you to be better in a supportive manner. So I really love that you said that. And also,
Yeah, I mean, just one of the things that I don't know, like my way of coaching and probably my way of life is just treat people as you like to be treated. So I always kind of like if I'm meeting someone or if I'm coaching someone, I like to be that person that I wanted to kind of like have in that case. Yeah, I don't know, like growing up, I went to a lot of like gym classes, TRX classes, just any type of like workout classes. And I remember, as you said, like the coach being passive aggressive, like you have to do it. And if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't work. And I was just like, I like this, but I don't know. Every time I left the class, I was just like, I actually didn't like this. I don't know. Maybe you have a bad day. You are not feeling great, and I don't know. Like you never know what's happening in the other person's life and mind. So I try to always kind of like first of all get to know them, see how they're feeling that day, and then slowly by slowly you get to meet that person and that client, and then you can push a little bit more, but always remembering that it's not about you. I feel like as a coach, a lot of times the number one mistake is people, and as a coach, you think it's about you. You want to be the superstar, you want to be the center of attention. And just working out, it's not about you as a coach, it's about the person that you're coaching. So I always try to keep that in mind that you never know what's happening in the client's life and mind. So just take it easy. Take it easy in a way that you want to push them, yes, but you never want to destroy them. You just want to like it's not for the day, it's forever. So just take it easy and just follow them, I guess.
yeah, you want them to move for longevity. You want them
Yeah.
to like, yeah, it's a long game, not the short game. But after you started coaching, you said you were 16. What was your mindset starting to coach then? Because how old are you now?
I'm gonna be 27 in December. Right now,
27. Okay.
yeah.
So I'm sure like your philosophy has probably changed in how you approach coaching. Because when we first start coaching, I feel like it's like a learning curve. So
Yeah.
what are sort of the mind shifts that you've had since being 16 to where you are now as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I mean, as you said, confidence. I remember the first class that I taught, I was so scared that like, I remember just like even talking, I was just like, I don't know, like it was just a scary place. But I'm like that. I'm someone that if it's scary, if you're uncomfortable, just keep doing that. And of course, the first time you do it is gonna be super uncomfortable. It's gonna be super scary, but I don't know. I just loved the idea of like having people and just see how they start and how they finish a class is and yeah, but definitely my mindset has changed a lot. Especially, I used to be that guy that no pain, no gain, like the if I say, I don't know, a squat variation, if I say the easy one is just a regular squat and the hard one is a squat jump, I was just like, oh, you gotta do the hard one because no pain, no gain, like always push yourself. I think that's been one of the things that I change and just evolve, especially like working at Session in New York. It's something that I'm always going to be grateful because I remember when I first started working there, I still used to have the mentality of just push yourself, destroy your body, and the heavier you lift, the better, the more challenging you make it, the better. But I remember Alexa, like she literally changed the way that I see fitness, the way that I see just life in general. She kind of like start to educate me in a way that is literally education, like fitness, any type of class is not about like showing off. It's about how you learn and how you educate yourself so you can actually understand what you're doing. So probably the thing that I've changed my mindset from Emilio when he was 16 from now that he's gonna be 27 is just the mindset of just taking things a little slower and easier and remembering that yes, maybe I can do something, but it doesn't mean that everybody can do it. And yeah, as I said before, you never know what's happening in the other people's life. So just be a little more gentle and just have more empathy, I guess, into what are you doing. And also just you never know who or how you're changing lives. Like maybe I'm just teaching a class and I'm just doing it, and but you never know how you're impacting someone's lives, and that's probably one of the most regarding things that I have as a coach is having people just tell you how you change their lives. And I never like to take credit of it. I'm like, you literally changed your life. I was just there to just tell you what to do and just to follow along into your journey. But it's not about me one more time. It's about that person and just recognize that it's their effort, it's their lives. And we as coaches are just there to educate and just follow along with them. So yeah, I think a lot of things, I don't know, I haven't thought about this in a while, how I changed as a coach. But yeah, I can just say that, especially in the mindset of, yeah, the no pain, no gain mindset, that is just more longevity focused.
Do you have you applied that kind of to your own training, or is that just sort of something that you has that evolved with your own training practice, or is that just something you bring into like the gym?
No, I definitely apply this into my own training. I used to be like never take a day off, never rest. I don't know, for example, if I didn't work out for a day, like the day after I was just like feeling guilty. I was just like, oh, now you have to work out 10 times harder because you didn't work out for a day. You rest for a day. And I don't know, I've learned to listen to my body. It's okay to work out for maybe 6 days in a row, but it's also okay to not work out for 6 days in a row. Like it's depending on the goal, I guess. Like I think it always depends on the person. In my case, if I'm working towards, I don't know, doing a marathon, doing a high rocks, maybe you have to follow and stick to a program and even though you don't want to do it, sometimes you have to do it. I think that's the difference because you have a goal in mind. And even though it's okay to maybe just take a day off, nothing is going to happen. Like you'll be fine. But if you're just working out for health, longevity, like your body just gets used to it. I feel like the more you work out for like the more time, you just start to build muscle memory, body memory, and just take it easy, like not only in fitness, that's something that I've learned. Just, I don't know, I feel like nowadays we want everything to happen fast. We want everything to be quick. We want push. We like with this whole like wake up at 6 a.m. or wake up at 5 a.m. and then do, never rest, never rest. I don't know. I think I just apply this into my own life, into like you'll be fine. You're still young. Like no one is rushing you. Like just take it easy. Slow it down a little bit more. So probably that's definitely something that I've learned. Just take things more slowly and don't be that hard on myself. I like to push myself, but it's okay if things don't happen. It's okay if I don't work out. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to just, like we're not perfect. And I used to think that I was like I was a Superman and I was invincible. But yeah, just we're just human beings and it's okay to fail.
Totally. I mean, I think that's a really like wise perspective to have at almost 27 because I feel like it takes a long time for people to get there. Was there like a specific experience that kind of like happened that made you kind of humble yourself, or was this just like an accumulation of like the past couple of years?
No, definitely. I remember during COVID, yeah, I used to find it really hard to just talk about this, but I'm just a human being, and I was working in the studio that I was coaching before, and I remember COVID hit, and then we couldn't teach anymore, like everything had to be online, everything had to be just recording and then just work out on demand. And yeah, I mean, one of the things that I love as well, besides coaching, I love being in front of the camera. I just love that. And that was probably one of the times that I realized that, because we started to just record classes for everyone, for all the clients. And I wanted to be in all the classes, like if we were recording 6 classes a day, I wanted to be working out on the 6 classes a day. So I just started to work out for 6 hours a day for probably like a month. And yeah, I was just like, I'm the best, like I'm the best, I'm invincible, I'm literally a machine. And yeah, I remember one day I went for a run and I started to feel just like tired and just I don't know, it was weird, but I was just like, maybe I'm just tired. I didn't listen to it. And in the afternoon, I was literally sitting on a couch and I felt a pain, like really, really sharp pain. And it was like hemorrhoids. It was like a hemorrhoids that I was just like, what happened, And I was so scared because it was just a pain that I never felt before. And I remember I went to the doctor and he was just like, you've been pushing your body. Like this is just accumulation of just a lot of stress in the body and especially in the core, like, and something literally just blew up, and I had to stop working out for 3 weeks, literally in my couch, couldn't do anything. And that was the moment that I was just like, I don't know, like I'm someone that needs to work out. I'm someone that needs to move, anyway. And me wanting to move and my body saying, no, you can't. That was just a really humbling experience and humbling moment that in the moment I was embarrassed. I was just like, how can this happen to me? I was just like, I thought hemorrhoids, it was just for old people. And I was just like, how can this happen to me? And now I can speak it just like it happens, like I feel like it can happen to anyone, that especially in fitness, if you just put a lot of weight, if you lift a lot and you put a lot of just stress in the body reacts, the body speaks. And in my case, that's how it spoke to me. And it was just like a moment to slow things down. Literally, it was just even to walk, it was just impossible. It was a really, really painful moment. But I'm always in the idea that everything happens for a reason. And thanks to that, I quitted that job. I was just like, okay, maybe this is not for me. And because of that time that I was literally doing nothing, just laying in bed, I always wanted to do my own thing. I always wanted to open my own thing. And that was kind of like the push moment that I needed to literally find my passion and pursue my dreams. And once I was all done, all feeling better, I quit my job. I started to do my online coaching, online platform. I started my brand that is called Move, MUV, like Move, but just MUV without the O. And yeah, I started online, and after that, just things started to just blew up in my city in Mexico. It was a time that I just realized that everything happens for a reason, and I needed to push that much so I can slow things down and see clearly. So yeah, probably that was the peaking point that I was, yeah, like even though it was really frustrating, really, really frustrating that I wanted to keep pushing and my body said no, but I listened, and now I look back and I'm so grateful that it happened and made me realize that yes, I can feel like a superhero, I can feel like a machine, but even the best machine in the world, even the best car in the world, if you push it, it's gonna fail, it's gonna break. So I just learned to push because I feel like as human beings, we can push, we can just break limits, we can break records, but just take it easy, take care of your body, maintenance, and just listen all the time. And yeah, after that, light came up, I can say, like after that bad time, I opened a gym. It was one of the best times in my life. We built a huge community where I'm from. And yeah, it was just a point that I started to realize that, yeah, you don't have to be the best all the time. You can just slow down and things better can happen, I guess. But yeah, that was a really painful time for me. And but he was just learning. He was learning, and I'm super thankful and grateful for that to happen to me. And I every time that I meet someone that is like me, that I see that they're just like always pushing, their ego is like huge, that I always try to just give the piece of advice, just slow it down. Like, I don't want this to happen to you. And if it happens to you, perfect. Like you needed to live through that moment. Like, yeah. So yeah, that was a great learning process for me.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I feel like that's very important because I have had a lot of those experiences myself, but I think it's super important for instructors to hear that because I know that, especially when you're young, you do feel invincible and you just want to be shredded. And there's this pressure to be like superwoman, superman, and just be like, I can do anything. But yeah, it's like if you want to go the distance in this industry or just within your life, like the universe is going to kind of shine these lights on you. And you're either going to listen before something bad happens or something bad is going to happen. So I think exactly what you're saying. It's like all that noise that's happening, you better listen to it because something usually worse happens and your
Yeah,
body will respond regardless if your mind is ready to hear it or not. Your
totally,
body's going to
totally.
be like, stop. And you're going to be
Yeah,
like, like I wish I could have just like
yeah,
stopped 2 months ago before all this happened. But thank you
yeah.
for sharing. Was that before New York or this after?
That was before New York. So, I mean, New York, it's always been yeah, since I was younger, New York is, like the best place to be, the best city in the world. And I always had my mind into New York, but that was before New York. And yeah, so I opened the gym, COVID passed, and after opening the gym, I got the opportunity to be in a TV show, like a reality show. It's a very famous reality show, especially for like Hispanic people. It's like Telemundo based, like Miami based. And
Is it
so I
like a
opened the,
Ninja Warrior kind of show?
yeah, yeah. It's called Exatlon.
Oh.
And it's basically like a Ninja Warrior type of like mix. So you have to do like a parkour course first,
Hmm.
but you're racing against someone else. So, and then at the end, you have to literally like stop. Then it's like, I don't know how you say it in English, but like you have to like accuracy, like you have to throw objects,
Hmm.
like, so it's a lot of like, yes, push, 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 make it as fast as you can. But then it's a moment that you have to like slow down, focus, because otherwise, you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna win the match. So it was a great experience. It was in Dominican Republic, TV show, like one more time. I love being in front of the camera. That was a moment that I was just like, wow, I thought I liked it. Now I know more. Like I just want to be in front of the camera. I like to be, yeah, like that's when the ego starts to speak. And I guess the ego, if you know how to handle it, it's great for you. But yeah, my ego, it was just like, I want to be in TV. I want to just perform. I want to be an athlete. And that was for 2 months. I was there. And it was also a great experience, great learning process because one more time, I I think I went fully in. I went just I feel I put a lot of pressure into myself trying to win the contest. And if I didn't win a match, I was really disappointed. I was really hard on myself. And yeah, it was just like a lot of learning process to be in that competition. And after that competition, I went to New York. So this was between New York and Mexico. And yeah, literally after the show back in the day, I was dating a girl that she used to live in New York. So they told me like as soon as I got eliminated from the show, they were like, "Where do you want to go?" And I was just like, "Take me to New York now." And yeah, like I went to New York and I spent a couple months there before I came back to Mexico again. And in that time, I got to meet. I went to session. I was just like, I wanna like learn. I wanna like I'm already in New York. What if I start to apply to different jobs, different studios in the city? And I knew like all the studios, the big studios in New York, just the workout classes. But I didn't want that. I wanted something different. And I remember so much that I just Googled like workout studios and session appeared. And I was just like, huh, I've never heard about this place. And yeah, like I went in there. Alexa was coaching and I literally just sat down until she finished her class. And I was just like, hey, I'm Emilio. I want to work here. How can I do this? And yeah, that was kind of like day one. And I came back to Mexico after that, kind of like to close the gym. Well, the gym is still opening, but I was kind of like just finish things that I left open here in Mexico. And my brother got married. And as soon as he got married, I took a flight and flew back to New York. And yeah, I started working at Session. And yeah, I was working there for almost like 2.5 years. And yeah, every time I think about this, it's just great memories, great people, great clients that I got to meet, just a lot of learning, just great times in that community.
What were your biggest like one or two takeaways from being in New York? Like what was one like two things that you really found like set kind of the foundation to where you are now?
That I can say number one, that dreams can happen. Like you can actually achieve what you want. And living in New York, being a coach, was one of my biggest dreams ever. And once I kind of like achieved that, it was just kind of like a palm in my back that I was just like, okay, you're actually enough. You're actually good. You're worth it because I don't know. It's something that I'm always gonna have kind of like, yes, you are good, but you are not good enough. So like being in New York and just realizing where I was, what I accomplished, it was just a really just yeah, I was super happy with myself. And yeah, probably that was one of the things that I was just so proud that I actually achieved my dreams. And the second one, I can say that things take time. Like if you want to be a great coach, if you want to be a great leader, it's not going to happen from one day to the other. And just putting the work. I remember coaching at Session, having English as my second language. It was just hard. And especially in a business like that they focus on not only coaching but educating people. It was so hard. I got super frustrating every time that I wanted to coach because I wanted to say something but I couldn't say it. I couldn't find the words to say it. So it was just practice, practice, practice in my house, in my apartment. I used to just mic myself up, talk, and then listen to myself to see how I was coaching, how I was talking. And yeah, probably one thing is, yeah, dreams can happen. Second, nothing is going to happen over time. Just work and be patient. And yeah, third, I think I'm just so grateful for the community that I got to meet in a place like that. And where am I right now is just also the result of the time that I was in New York, because I got to accomplish my biggest dream, that it was working at probably in the best studio that I've been as a coach and as a client. And yeah, just accomplishing something in that city, like especially New York, it's a hard city. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And it's something that's I still miss a lot. I look back and I don't know if I might go back. I don't know. It's something that New York is New York and it's a magical city. But yeah, just believe in yourself.
That's amazing. And your English was amazing, by the way. I feel like you always like you definitely are good at like performance because I feel like even if you said something that wasn't quite clear, it came through for
Yeah.
everybody. So don't worry
Thanks.
about
Thanks.
that. It was
Means a
great.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember just try to enunciate, and even right now I'm just kind of like
Enunciate, you got it.
enunciate more. Like I feel like Spanish speaking people, we speak super fast.
hmm
And I'm also someone that speaks super fast. And yeah, kind of like to slow it down, just to be more focused and more present into
Seems like
what
the whole theme of this conversation has been slow it down. And like
slow
being
it
in New
down.
York
No,
with your like language barrier kind of was like
yeah,
forcing you to slow it down in that aspect too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, slow it down in life generally. And even now, like I still find myself in situations, businesses that I'm like, just slow it down, Emilio. Like I want everything to happen immediately, and things might happen immediately, but I don't know, step by step, like just small wins every day and step by step, and just trust that you are doing the right things. And I don't know, especially right now with social media, you see people having the life that you want and maybe having the businesses, success, but you never know what they went through before, like you just see the final results. So I'm just trying to slow it down. And yeah, as you said, probably the biggest learning in the last couple of years has been just to slow it down. And yeah, yeah,
Sounds like you're just moving with more intention, but I can see that the input is creating incredible output for you. I kind of want to shift the conversation a little bit to creativity and how movement and the discipline you clearly have in your life and kind of your perspective on just like, yeah, slowing it down, but also just being, you seem just very open to following and chasing your dreams. And how does that kind of play into your creative life? Because you have your own, is it a production company? Because I know I've seen a lot of your work and you work with different athletes and models, filming them, right? Like cinematography a little
yeah,
bit. So could you
yeah.
speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah, like I've always been a creative cat, like a creative kid. Since I was younger, I grew up like watching Art Attack, like the guy that used to just make things from zero. And in my house, my mom used to have a room especially for hands and crafts. So creativity has always been there for me, and I always like to find just kind of like solve problems. Like if you have a problem, how you solve it. And that slowly started to just transition into filming. As I said, I like to be in front of the camera, but I also love to be behind the camera. And I remember I started to film when I was 17. I took a gap year, and yeah, I just had my phone and I started to just film everything that I was living and make cool videos, put good music, just make it memorable, like have your own movie, like you as your character. That's kind of like the philosophy of humans. It's humans. Well, now it's directed by humans. Before it used to be just humans. But when I arrived to Mexico, I had to kind of like just change it a little bit more, because also my brother, my twin brother, he also has the same kind of like passion, the same creativity, and he's super talented. So we decided to just do it together. So now it's directed by humans, that in this case, we are the humans. And we both like to see it as you as your own movie character. So how we do it is everything. If we ever record an athlete, right now we've been doing a lot of like music videos. It's just we want to have the client to just feel confident, feel important, like that's the whole perspective on humans, just make themselves feel proud of who they are. And in creativity, we just, first of all, we always kind of like arrange a meeting where we listen, like one more time, it's not about us. We are the ones that are going to make it happen. But the whole project, the whole production is about the client. So we always like to listen what they want, how they see it, how they want to make it happen. And then from there, we start to just kind of like just put it together. But every project is different. With athletes, is different. With chefs, I've done it. Now we do it a lot with musicians, but it's a project that is been really, really just one more time learning and just so it's fun. Like it's really fun to also do it with your brother. In this case, my twin. That we are super different, but at the same time we are super alike. And yeah, just putting together something that we picture in our minds into something that is real. Seeing the final result is one of the most rewarding things in the world, to see the client that is happy and also be proud of the project that we just made.
Do you feel like your ability to, I think it's like the same, sounds like you have the same mindset around talking to these clients as you would working with people in the gym because it's the same kind of philosophy, right? You're watching them move. You're saying that you want them to feel like the best versions about themselves, make it about them. But in terms of like creativity and cinematography, do you feel like your understanding of the human body like helps you when filming bodies because you just kind of understand motion? I feel like it would give you an edge to sort of understand movement and like what would be the best angle or just what would drive the best result for something wanting to be sharp or soft.
Exactly. Especially in athletes. I feel like when we focus on sports and athletes, I love sports. I love athletes. That gives me a perspective of kind of like I see it me as a character, but also as a videographer.
Mm.
Yeah, it gives me just a lot of perspective to see, you already, I'm seeing how things are going to look at the end before I'm even shooting the film, because like, your angle, like the lighting, what's going to be the movement. So it helps a lot to be, as I said before, to like to be in front of the camera, but also be behind the camera, because you both complement each other. And yeah, in my humans right now is just movement, like physical movement and more artistic movement. That is, in this case, my brother's expertise. So it helps a lot to just have different angles, how he likes to see musicians, artists, creatives, how they like to be captured. So yeah, it definitely gives a lot of perspective to know how the movement, how the human body works, how it moves in, and yeah, it just gives a lot of perspective.
And on the flip side, how would you say that your creative outlet and your sort of love for art plays into how you um, kind of teach or just how you kind of live your life? Like, how does art play a role in just like your way of life, not just within discipline or within the gym, but how do you? I feel like you seem like a very creative person and creativity, and you're saying problem solving. And I think to be a problem solver takes a lot of creativity. So, like, just in your life in general, the way you live, is there specific takeaways you have from sort of your creative lens?
I mean, especially in art, art is, you can see a paint and I feel something completely different from the same art that someone is kind of like, we can be looking at the same thing, same sculpture, and I feel something completely different that the person that is next to me looking at the exact same thing. I feel like it's just perspective. Whatever is good for you might not be the best for someone else. So it's kind of like just your opinion, your way of see things is always going to be yours, and don't try to make that everyone else's. So just kind of like respect that everybody has a point of view, everybody has an opinion on things, and it's okay to be different. It's great to be different. It's so great to see things. If I see a thing white and someone else is seeing it like black, just, I don't know, like I, especially with humans, with relationships in any kind of way, like loving relationships, like friendship relationships, just learn that no one is gonna be like you. No one is gonna see things as you are. And yeah, just try to learn from that. And I find it really beautiful to be different as human beings, that just to learn that it's not about you all the time, like it's not about how you see things, it's not about how you wanna just see the world. Just accept that there's different opinions, there's different points of view, and I feel like that's art, that's creativity, that you just find ways to learn and to solve problems that maybe they're good for you, but maybe they're not the best for someone else. Just to learn that, take that as a gift, that someone else has a different point of view, and try to learn from that. I guess I don't know if that was the question, but yeah.
100%. And I feel like a through line through a lot of our coaches and people. And I talked to Alexa, actually, she was like the first episode on Emergence. And she also was speaking just about the importance of curiosity and just living a life full of curiosity. And how we kind of started this conversation was you kind of just have always followed your curiosity. And I think in terms of art, business, fitness, whatever, it's like following that curiosity, relationships, right? If you're curious about a person, ask, learn, challenge each other. And that's how we grow. And it works inside with our clients, it works outside in our personal relationships. And I think now, like you were saying about social media, it's so easy to compare ourselves, right? But if you really want to get curious, reach out to people, ask people about how they got to where they were. Like you asked to just work at session after a class. Like I feel like sometimes we don't talk about the balls that it takes or just the gumption it takes to be super uncomfortable and to like put yourself in a position of vulnerability and curiosity. And then what's on the other side of that? Like you said, you achieved so many of your dreams in New York, and you wouldn't have done that, right? If you weren't curious and had that sort of like intuition and small ego to like get yourself what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as you said, like like ego, especially, is something that it helps a lot, but it can also destroy you if you don't know how to handle it. It helps because it pushes you to places that you are really scared to get in, really like places, situations that are really uncomfortable. But I feel that that ego helps you push and pass through them. But also at the same time, if you just listen to the ego, like you never kind of like just slow it down, your ego can pass you over. And it happened to me both. Like I experienced, and I think I'm gonna still experience the both of the aspects of the ego that we all have. Is just learn how to handle it, and it can be your best friend or it can literally be your worst nightmare. So just listen. And yeah, I always like to have the mindset of a beginner. You're never gonna know everything. Try to never know everything, and just surround yourself with someone that is better than you all the time. Like just try to feel like you don't know anything, because if you surround yourself with people that know more than you, eventually you're gonna beat that person. So it just yeah, you're never gonna know everything, and that's okay. It's okay.
Exactly. I feel like it's to stay humble, you need to put yourself in rooms where you're like the worst, because that's the best way to keep your ego in check. And that's the best way to get better. And if
Yeah,
you're,
it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's
yeah,
gonna
you got to
be
be uncomfortable. If you're getting too comfortable, it's time for change.
literally. It just, yeah, that happened to me. Probably that was one of the reasons that I moved back from New York. I was just getting comfortable in there, and I don't know, it was just, yeah, I wanted to be uncomfortable because it means growth. And yeah, every situation that you do, it can be super small situation. It doesn't have to be like a life-changing experience. Just put yourself uncomfortable. As easy as, if I hate to read, just sit for 10 minutes and read. If you hate to work out, just next to your bed, work out for 10 minutes. It's going to be uncomfortable, but just get yourself uncomfortable. If you are really shy, just try to talk to, I don't know, someone at the subway or someone in the street. You're going to feel, is going to be uncomfortable, yes, but after that, you're going to feel 10 times more confident about it. So yeah, just to learn, just learn that it's an emotion. It's not you. It's just what you're feeling. Like it's not who you are. It's just what you feel.
I love that you said that. It's like we have to really separate ourselves from our emotions, especially if you're super ambitious and you have huge dreams, because something I learned earlier in my life, but like the only person who's going to hold you back is you. And that's honestly the biggest regret. It doesn't matter what opportunities you missed or not, but if you don't fully try you have to live with that regret. And that's honestly like one of the most painful things. Trying and failing is one thing. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I gave it everything. But if you don't even, if you just give it a 60 or 50%, that is super painful.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know that you could have done better. Like
Yeah,
and yeah, it's literally gonna be here forever. It's gonna be stuck on you until either you give up and it's gonna be worse because you know that what happened if I've done it before? What happened if I started to do this project 5 years? And I feel like it happens to you as well. Like we all have like different little projects or things that we wish we did it before. And now you start to do it, you are like, okay, it wasn't that bad. I wish I'd done it before. But it's also like the perfect time is now. Like it's not like you're not gonna learn or nothing is gonna like, yeah, like the perfect time is right now. Like you didn't do it 5 years now, like later, do it right now.
totally. And sort of, I wanted to talk about to end kind of where are you now and sort of what do you have going on? Because I feel like, at least from your social media, from what I've seen, it looks like you have so much happening. You have like a run club, it looks like you're training a lot of people, you have a couple of businesses. So can you kind of tell people where you are now and what you're kind of looking forward to?
Yeah, so right now I'm living in Mexico City. I have a community that is called Crew, like CRU with two dots in the top. It's not only a run club, it's just a community of people that it just is your crew. Literally we want to create a community that makes you feel as part of something, not only in fitness. I feel like a run club, yes, but I've heard, and that's why we created this because not everybody is gonna run. Not everybody likes to run, and it's okay. Like you don't have to run if you don't like it. And we want to make a community that it's for everyone through movement, physical movement, emotionally. I'm someone that for the past 10 years, I put a lot of effort into the physical movement, but not a lot into the emotions, like therapy and just, yeah, just create a community where you can just express yourself and put yourself uncomfortable, not only physically, but also emotionally and just work because we all have a past, we have things that we need to work and just feel safe in an environment that you are with someone that is going to support you, not destroy you. We love food as well. We like to eat. We are creating a community that just brings people in through food, through movement. So that's a community that we are creating. I'm also just taking back clients. I'm training people. I haven't done group training. I'm doing more personal training. I am focusing more on that. I love group class, and literally last week I was talking with my girlfriend about like I want to go back into coaching. And yeah, I don't know if I definitely gonna go back to coaching like group classes because it's just the energy that you feel in a class is incredible. But right now I'm just focusing on personal training, especially athletes, famous people, just yeah, just more personal training. And social media wise, I've been trying to, yeah, I was kind of like always afraid of taking the big step, and I'm just doing it. Fuck it, like it's now or never, and just try to have fun with it. And in terms of like movies, I'm doing right now, I'm just doing commercials, like nothing big, but like slowly by slowly, just getting into that industry as well. And yeah, just kind of like one more time as we've been talking more taking things a little more slow. Like I've only been here for this is gonna be my 6th month in Mexico, so it's kind of like yeah, I tend to want everything to happen really fast, and yeah, I'm just taking it slow. I'm launching my online platform, like training platform, especially. I had a lot of like people from New York that they were like, "Ah, I want to train with you," and I was just like, but now is the time. I'm launching it next week, so it's exciting for me just to start to have clients online and yeah, just to keep following and keep spreading my philosophy of life and help people. And yeah, right now it's just that I'm in the phase of I need to move out of this apartment like next month. So it's just I want to keep things clear. Just so right now it's just my clients, my projects, my community, and just my business in general. So yeah, just happy. Try to slow things down and try to enjoy more. the life that I'm living right now because it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Oh my God, Mexico City is beautiful. I mean, it's funny you say slow things down, but that's like a million of things that you're doing. That's incredible though. And just to end, what is your philosophy of life? You mentioned your philosophy of life. If you can kind of sum it up in like a short little blurb.
Yeah, I think it has changed a lot, but right now I'm just trying to like keep it simple, like just be kind. Like that's it. That's just be kind, treat people as you like to be treated, and yeah, success is gonna come, whatever is gonna come. But like my whole philosophy, whatever you do, just try to be kind to anyone, to your like especially to myself. Like be kind to people, be kind to myself, and yeah, probably my philosophy changes over time. Before it used to be like, don't just stand there, like just do something. And now I'm just kind of like, just focus on the good things, be kind. And if you do things with a purpose, if you do good things are going to happen to me. So I just try to put out there what I want me to have in the world, I guess. So just be kind. It doesn't cost us anything, and it's just mentality. Just try to see the positive side of everything. And of course, there's going to be terrible days. Of course, I have bad days pretty much all the time, but just try to always remember like it's okay. Be kind to yourself, and things are going to happen. Just be positive about it.
Well, thank you so much. This was such a fun conversation, and I'm so excited for people to hear it. Thank you so much, Emilio. And I can't wait for everybody to hear. So thank you.
Thank you, Laura.